Way too many people today can't hold a simple conversation. Small talk is a skill everyone should have up their sleeve. No matter how talented you are in any other aspect of life, if you do not have the conversation ability to present your talents, you're not going to get anywhere in life. In fact, it is the most intrapersonal, socially skilled individuals who soar in life, business, relationships and friendships and live a much more fuller and richer life than those individuals who have those technical skills. Your ability to deal with people is the sole factor on how successful your life is going to be. If this sounds like something you struggle with, the YouTube algorithm has brought you exactly where you need to be, and I'm going to make you into socially savvy master Oogway of conversation. And like always, I give the last one the best one. So stick around. 1. Where do we start to small talk? Literally everywhere and anywhere where there is another human being present. See, I watched this clip when I was in high school and I was interested in charisma and confidence. I was wondering how some people can be very confident. Why were some people so popular in school? Why were some people just like the outcasts in school society, let's just say? Yeah, so this movie clip was about a man and he was sitting next to an old lady on a bus and randomly he just goes, "Gosh, have you seen the price of onions these days?" Like, who says that? Out of the blue as well. But that made me think, if this individual just initiated conversation with a random person that he didn't know 5 minutes prior to, and all of a sudden they're best friends now, surely that's got to work for me as well. Now granted, I didn't have the balls to go up and tell people about the prices of onions, but I did struck up a conversation with the next person in the shop. And of course it was rubbish the first time, but that stunt basically helped me understand that you can literally talk about anything and everything, and as long as you don't come across as weird and a goofball, people will actually listen to you. Eventually you get very good at talking to strangers, and if you told me today, go and say that one-liner about an onion to a stranger, I'd finesse the shit out of that like crazy, and then continue to have a 3-hour conversation to make a best friend. Trust me, it takes time, but once you get there, the world is in your grasp. A smooth talker can have anything he wants in life. So how do we start a conversation? Now, you've heard the tip that says, start with a compliment. Tell people that they're good at something. Tell them they like the handbag and stuff like that, but every Tom, Dick and Harry knows this, right? So it's so overused and it's so oversaturated that people that they're trying to talk to you when they try to give you a compliment. And it's a 1 foot in, 1 foot out compliment, which doesn't really do the job, doesn't do the trick, and it just makes you feel awkward. Like, hey, yeah, thank you very much. I'd like to just move on and talk to somebody else now. That's exactly how you feel when someone gives you a stupid compliment. I don't want you to give anybody a compliment. I want you to say something a little bit outrageous, something a little interesting, something the average person doesn't know. And you do this to incite a little curiosity, make them asking questions, keep them interested, keep them hooked. You're trying to break the ice here. I very much prefer that you break it with a sledgehammer. Now we're just going to go on a tangent right here. And I'm going to tell you, never introduce yourself at the start of a conversation. Why? Because when you introduce yourself at the start of a conversation, even though we're being taught to do that, it comes off as very formal, as if like you want something from them, you want to talk to them, you want something from them, and when you want something from someone, they're a lot less likely to give it to you. It makes the conversation very tense. Introduce yourself towards the middle of the conversation or towards the end of the conversation when you're just about to leave. Hey, my name was Alan, nice to meet you. What was your name again? Or, I've been talking to you for a good 10 minutes and we haven't even introduced ourselves yet. What's your name? Boom, that's a lot better than saying, hey, my name is, and then starting the conversation, because all of a sudden the spotlight's all on you and everybody's thinking like, why is this guy introducing himself to me in like a formal manner? Don't introduce yourself at the start of a conversation. Point 2, stringing method. To get used to the fact that you'll have to carry the conversation a little bit before other people will contribute. Mainly because the vast majority of people are way too insecure today in order to hold a simple conversation, or worse, they're literally AFK and they're just drifting from day to day. So you have to carry the conversation a little bit, and you can do this by this method called conversation stringing to ensure that you never run out of anything to say. For example, if you're going to go talk about skiing in Switzerland, you can associate that with the Alps, and then you can associate that with the geography being so hard to conquer, not even the Romans could conquer it. Then you could talk about Julius Caesar, and then you could talk about Julius Caesar's Rome, and then you could say, if I had a time machine, I could go and see Julius Caesar's Rome. Pointless, can sound absurd, absolutely, but practicing these loose associations will make you jump from topic to topic, and it'll make sure that you'll never run out of anything to say, and there will never be an awkward silence. Now, you can practice this every morning. So I used to do this. I used to open up my iPhone camera every morning for 10 minutes and I used to just talk for 10 minutes non-stop. It doesn't matter if I was just talking rubbish or if, like, I was spouting nonsense. I'd be talking for a straight 10 minutes. You're literally training your brain here to make loose associations. Be comfortable making these loose associations and jumping from topic to topic with ease. Tip 3. Be educated. How would you expect something interesting to come out of your mouth if nothing interesting has gone into your head? Know a little about everything. Have the ability to talk to literally anyone and anybody about anything. If you talk to me about quantum physics, I'll know something about it. If you talk about the fall of Constantinople or the Great Wall of China, I'll know something about it. Don't be that guy who sits there and just listens to what other people says. Contribute, and people will respect you. See, I used to have a friend, and all he used to talk about was girls. He knew nothing else. And you could literally talk to this guy and say, bro, there are advanced civilizations on the moon, and they're trying to come and eat our brains. And this guy would be like, oh yeah, really, bro? The guy was a complete idiot. And don't be like that guy. Expose yourself to more of the world and you'll become more interesting, because the more information that goes into your brain, the more you can talk about, the more you can relate, the more people you can relate to. Watch the news, talk to people, understand different viewpoints, understand politics, understand how money works, understand why white-collar criminals open up shelf companies in the Caribbean. I can't stress this enough. Read, read, read. The more you read, the more interesting you become. The wealth of knowledge. The world's knowledge has been documented into books. You can literally read about anything and you will get thousands of years of information at your fingertips. You can literally read about thousands of years of history and everything the entire human race has discovered at your fingertips. You have the internet, for goodness sake, right? Go use it, utilize it. Okay. Just because I told you to be knowledgeable doesn't mean that you have to be a brain box. Don't be one of those individuals who just overwhelms other people with information. If you ever talk to an old person, so much wisdom, so much information, boring as heck to talk to. They bore you to death before they even die. There's no flavor, there's no excitement, there's just conversation cardboard. Make it interesting. People like stories, people like witty comments, people like drama, people like overt confidence. Make it interesting for them, make it fun. Don't be a textbook. They want a show? Give them a show. So how do you do this? How do you make conversations fun? Enjoy yourself. When you start enjoying yourself, surprisingly everybody else starts enjoying themselves as well. We try to make other people enjoy themselves, but the secret is that you enjoy yourself and other people automatically enjoy themselves. They just join in. This leads us on to our next method, and it's called fishing for gold. The only rule you need to take away from this book right here is that you can make 10 times the amount of friends being interested in other people as opposed to getting other people interested in you. People love talking about themselves. The more and more that you ask them about themselves, the more obsessed that they get with you. Why? Because they associate that feeling of feeling good with you. Now, eventually, as they talk, they will hit a point, they will hit a subject and a topic that they keep coming back to. Bingo. This is what you latch onto. This is what you're looking for. This is the golden nugget you've been fishing for. Something that they feel passionate about. Something that they can talk with endless motivation and dedication to. This is the topic you want to keep diving into. This is the topic you want to keep reverting the conversation back to. When you get them to talk about something that means the most to them, they associate that good feeling again with you. They associate that importance again with you. You have automatically and subconsciously become valuable in the other person's mind. Start putting these 5 tips into action and see how quickly you start making friends. Now you've learned how to small talk, click this video by here and it will teach you how to be the literal definition of a people magnet.